Arborist Podcast, Domain 2, Episode 8, Managing Soil Problems in Urban Environments, Applying Soil Knowledge in the Real World. Welcome back to the Arborist Podcast. This podcast is designed to help you study for the ISA Arborist Certification Exam by breaking down arboriculture topics into clear, practical explanations. As always, this podcast is not affiliated with or endorsed by the International Society of Arboriculture. It's an independent educational resource created to support arborists preparing for the certification exam. In this final episode of Domain 2, we're bringing everything together by focusing on how arborists manage soil problems in urban environments. Urban soil conditions are rarely ideal, and understanding how to work within those limitations is a critical arborist skill. Why urban soils are so challenging? Urban soils are often heavily disturbed before trees are planted. Construction, grading, traffic, and utility work commonly compact soil, remove organic matter, and disrupt natural layering. Many urban soils are layered, meaning different soil materials have been placed on top of each other, restricting drainage and root movement. These conditions create long-term stress for trees and limit their ability to grow and recover. Common urban soil problems. Some of the most common soil problems arborists encounter include compaction that limits pore space and oxygen availability, poor drainage that leads to saturated soils, limited root volume due to sidewalks, roads, and buildings, low organic matter and reduced biological activity, altered water flow caused by impervious surfaces. These problems often occur together, compounding their effects on tree health. Diagnosing soil problems correctly. Effective management begins with proper diagnosis. Arborists should evaluate soil texture, compaction, drainage, moisture levels, and root space before making recommendations. Above-ground symptoms alone are not enough. Small leaves, die back, and poor growth often point to below-ground limitations rather than pests or nutrient deficiencies. This diagnostic mindset is heavily emphasized on the ISA exam. Setting realistic expectations. One of the most important roles of an arborist is communication. In many urban sites, soil conditions cannot be fully corrected. Arborists must explain limitations clearly and set realistic expectations about growth, longevity, and maintenance needs. Improvement is often the goal, not perfection. Improving soil conditions where possible. When conditions allow, arborists may recommend practices to improve soil function. These may include reducing compaction, increasing organic matter, and improving drainage or aeration. Mulching is one of the most effective and practical tools for supporting soil health. Organic mulch moderates soil temperature, conserves moisture, and supports soil biology over time. Protecting existing soil and roots. Protecting soil is often more effective than attempting to fix it later. Tree protection zones, limiting traffic, and careful planning during construction help preserve soil structure and root function. Preventative measures are emphasized heavily in professional arboriculture and on the ISA exam. Species selection and site matching. In challenging soil conditions, species selection becomes especially important. Some tree species tolerate compacted, poorly drained, or limited soils better than others. Matching species to site conditions improves survival and reduces long-term management issues. This concept connects soil science directly to tree selection and planning, integrating soil knowledge into arborist practice. Managing urban soil problems requires an integrated approach. Soil texture, structure, water movement, compaction, biology, and tree physiology all interact. Successful arborists evaluate the entire system rather than focusing on a single factor. This systems-based thinking is exactly what the ISA exam is testing. Domain 2 is about understanding the environment roots grow in. Soil properties influence water availability, oxygen movement, nutrient cycling, and root health. Every tree problem has a soil component, whether obvious or hidden. Arborists who understand soils make better diagnoses and better decisions. Let's recap the key points. Urban soils are often compacted, disturbed, and biologically limited. Arborists must diagnose soil problems accurately, set realistic expectations, and focus on improvement and protection where possible. Managing soil conditions is essential to long-term tree health and success. That completes Domain 2, Soils and Water. You now have a strong foundation for understanding how soil conditions affect tree health and why below-ground factors are so critical. In the next domain, we'll shift our focus to tree nutrition and fertilization and explain how nutrients interact with soil and tree biology. Thanks for listening to the Arborist Podcast. Let's keep building your arborist knowledge, one domain at a time.